You know what time it is when you hear my voice. Get that crack pipe out of your mouths. Bitcoin is currently languishing at the lows. It really hasn't done anything much. It's hovering around 64,000 US dollars and some change. It's going to close on the weekly on an indecisive candle. But I did warn you. I warned you all that this will happen. Volatility will decrease and decrease and decrease until we really see that capitulation moment. Now, we're not going to see a reversal until someone or something is carried in a body bag. In this current bear market, we're actually up by 10%. In the previous bear market, we closed green by 16%. In 2018, July, we closed by a whopping 20%. And the only outlier was in 2014 bear market, where we closed red by minus 9%. So what happens in August? History tends to rhyme. In 2022 bear market, we closed red. In 2018, we closed red. And in 2014, we closed on a glorious red candle. And in September of 2022 bear market, we closed by 3%. 2018 by minus 5%. And in 2014 by minus 20%. Both August and September closed on a beautiful bloody red candles. Bitcoin is a story as old as time. We have booms and busts, and the closest correlation to Bitcoin price at this current bear market is not 2014 and it's not 2022. It's actually 2018. If some of you were around during that time, we moved sideways for a long time, falling both the bulls and the bears. In this current cycle, we're doing the same thing. We're moving sideways, causing boredom, anxiety, overthinking, and hopelessness. If you were around during 2018, everyone thought that this was the bottom until that final dreaded day where Bitcoin dropped almost 50% in 2 weeks. We haven't even got close to the realized price and participants are already talking about a bottom. How pathetic. Every single cycle, every bear market, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is headed below the realized price. In 2011, ladies and gentlemen, when Bitcoin went to $1, were you there? Were you all there? It dropped far lower than its realized price. In 2014, it dropped underneath its realized price and even lower. In 2018, it done the same thing. In 2021, it done the same thing. Every single cycle unanimously has fallen below its realized price. And you're actually bullish. So here we are again, where we're meant to be. But you keep fighting it. Participants continue to fight it. They look at the news, hoping this time is different. They go through their feed, thinking this time is different. We either have a time-based capitulation or we have a price-based capitulation. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm just telling you cold, hard facts. It looks almost like a carbon copy, and we've been discussing this and speaking about this for the longest. On my channel for almost 9 months, 10 months, I've been talking about this. You can check my catalog week after week. I've been nothing but right, ladies and gentlemen. I promised you lower prices and we got lower prices. I promised you cheaper prices and we got cheaper prices. I never fooled you once. I told you to buy low and sell high. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not hard in crypto. And here we are where we're always meant to be. Now, I'm not going to go through it exactly like I usually do because you can check the other videos. We formed a dead cat bounce in both of these fractals. We formed an up thrust. There were no more sellers left. We formed an up thrust and there was no more sellers left. We hurdled down, formed selling climax, and we hurdled down and formed selling climax. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like a carbon copy. It looks identical. You got to be Ray Charles to not see this, ladies and gentlemen. The only difference is one difference, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, in the previous cycle we had 2 selling climaxes, whereas this current cycle we only have 1 selling climax, and this is because of diminishing returns and diminishing gains. Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. We've done the same thing like we've always done, exact same carbon copy, and I'll show you the 2018 fractal as well. We hurdled up everyone got really excited, was mentioning Michael Saylor and their cohort, and this was just all fugazi and bullshit. Previous cycle, they were all talking about institutions are coming, they're coming, and we formed new lower lows, and we ultimately had a capitulation wick, and it marked the bottom. Ironically, this was the very low on election day. The results came out, and this was the actual very low. So what we're going to see is the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Volatility is going to decrease, and if I show you Devo, we're just showing the exact same thing, nothing more, nothing less. Ladies and gentlemen, every time we head to these lower ranges, we see Bitcoin spike, and right now we're not at the lower range. We're going to see massive volatility come back into Bitcoin. As of now, like I promised time and time again, the boredom is going to kill you. The boredom, the summer lull, and the boredom is going to completely wick you out. This is choppy period. People are going to call for a bottom. It's not the bottom. It's hilarious how humans can overthink, and they will plan into the future, plan until one day they fall dead. Now Bitcoin is similar. There's so many people right over here that were pontificating on what will happen next. They kept on calling for all sorts, just everything under the sun. This is the bottom, and this is the reason, and so on and so forth. And you know what was ironic? The bottom was formed in max fear, when everyone was sufficiently wrecked. Likewise, a bottom in COVID, when everyone was sufficiently wrecked. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we saw higher prices. The same thing here, sufficiently wrecked, and it goes on and on and on. This is as old as time, ladies and gentlemen. People get over leveraged, and during a bear market, they want to force their way out of a bear market. It doesn't work like that. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon. And the only guarantee is that someone has to get carried, or something, or a group of people, they have to get carried in a body bag. Unfortunately, that's the rules. I don't make it, I enforce it. This is what's gonna happen, if you like it or not. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.